to the Domenick Nati Show. News, gossip, celebrity interviews with limited knowledge and accuracy in sports and politics. And now, your host, celebrity publicist, Domenick Nati.
That's right, it's Friday, and it is time for the Domenick Nati Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio. Well, we got another good one for you today. Today's guest is Royce Reed from Basketball Wives. Again, that was Royce Reed from the show Basketball Wives. She also has a child with NBA superstar Dwight Howard. Yes, I believe they call him Superman. I'm not a big fan of the sports, but I believe that is accurate. Royce Reed is our guest today, and we are going to ask her a lot of questions about Dwight Howard as a father. Yes, I had a lot of questions about that. Some said maybe too many. This interview was picked up by a lot of press outlets. One of them called thedirty.com. And yeah, I led her into, I just had a lot of questions. What is it like to have a child with Dwight Howard? I know he's a busy guy, plays basketball. Does he interact with the kids? Does he call a lot? I'm just curious. And she answered all of our questions and also had an interesting story about an interaction she had with the singer Genuine. You guys remember Genuine? Yeah. So we'll be right back with Basketball Wives star Royce Reed right after this drop from Bill Cosby.
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
This is Bill Cosby, and you're
not Bill Cosby.
Oh, you're Bill Cosby.
Yes, I am.
And this is the best radio show.
Good for you.
What?
No, what do you want?
I was wanting you to say you're Bill Cosby, because that in your voice to prove that you've actually been on the show.
Why would they not believe that I was on the show after you played a tape of me?
I guess it's
help me out.
Other radio shows do this, and we're trying to compete with them by getting a big name.
Well, you have that. You have Bill Cosby, and I am a big name.
Anyway, Bill's a big fan of the show.
Yes, I am.
Right. He's listening.
You know why? So far, this is the only program I've listened to. Just the one with me on it.
Yes. Right. That's the only one he
why
loves.
It's my favorite.
So if Bill's listening, you should be too.
And my name is Bill Cosby, and I approve this message.
This is the Domenick Nati Show on iHeartRadio and Intellectual Radio. Do you have a business and are looking for a creative and effective way to market your product or services? Are you an entertainer or recording artist looking for a captive audience to display your talent to? The Domenick Nati Show is now offering on-air commercial advertising for as low as $50. Your product or talent will be presented by celebrity publicist Domenick Nati and be seen on our social media accounts and on iHeartRadio and select stations throughout the country. Send us a message on social media at Dom Nati Show or email DomenickNatiShow@gmail.com for more information. The Domenick Nati Show, maximum exposure, minimum censorship. You're listening to the Domenick Nati Show on iHeartRadio and Intellectual Radio.
Okay, welcome back to the Domenick Nati Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio. I've been telling you all program about our special guest, and the time has come. You know her from television, and she is your favorite former dancer for the Miami Heat. Royce Reed is on the phone with us. Royce, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? That was a great introduction.
Oh, yes. I've been telling everyone we're excited to have you on the show. Now, you were on Basketball Wives for a while, and your connection there is you're a dancer, and also you have a past relationship and baby with Dwight Howard.
So,
Yes.
how is your relationship with Dwight currently?
We're actually doing much better. Sometimes, obviously, times are worse than others. But we haven't been in the news lately, unless it was people thinking that we're getting back together because of a picture that he's posted or a video, or the video where I was like, we're family. Apparently, that means that we're back in the bed screwing or something, when it does not. That's not going to happen. We're cool. We're working on building a friendship and trust lines back. Working on him trying to set his priorities in the right order. I think if anything, that's probably what we argue about the most right now is, time. Because Braylon's not getting any younger, and he's 9 now, so he has his own opinion about things, and he doesn't hide how he feels. And he loves his dad to death, but he definitely has his emotions at times because he doesn't talk to him a whole lot, or he doesn't see him a whole lot. And I mean, with any kid, when you're calling someone a lot and they don't answer, it can be a little heartbreaking. But that's where I step in, and I have to be the little pit bull, or the spitfire, like people like to call me. And it seems like when I become that little bee, then he responds. So we're trying to work on him responding before I get to that level. But, I mean, other than that, everything's all good.
So, do you feel like if you don't, make it kind of be that pit bull to Dwight, that he doesn't make the time for your son?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's just his focus right now is basketball. And I understand it. I get it. My focus is fancy chic, but my first focus is my child. And I think, with him, none of the kids stay with him. They don't live with him. So he doesn't have that constant reminder like, oh, I got to get the kids in the bed, or, oh, I need to, feed them, or I need to talk to them. You know what I mean? Kind of out of sight, out of mind. And I don't want to say it's terrible or it's that bad, but I just think he's making some good strides. It may not be as fast as I want them to be, but I mean, they say a hard head makes a soft ass. So I think Braylon, as he gets older, he's going to vent to him, because he does a little bit now, and he's just gonna have to answer a lot of questions. Braylon has a lot of them now, and you can't have a nanny or an assistant, doing all your work, especially when it comes to family. I didn't sleep with them, neither did any of the other mothers. We slept with Dwight. We have a child by him. And Dwight and I go back from 2004, so I know that deep down he has a good heart and he's a good person. I just think that he's in the process of finding him again. So.
Right. So if you don't call Dwight, then he never calls and just checks in on Braylon. You got to just keep calling him.
Pretty much, unless it's like a birthday. And I don't want it to sound terrible, but I mean, that's the truth. But, I don't want it to seem like he's just this, deadbeat father, because I wouldn't say that, because I don't think it's necessarily something he does on purpose. It's just, again, right now his focus is basketball, and his time is very thin, and it's just about trying to schedule in what matters most. So.
Right. But he doesn't really make that effort.
Yeah.
I mean, basketball's first.
Exactly.
I got it.
So, I mean, I'm definitely not going to beg anyone to do anything, because Braylon is totally fine. He's happy. And whenever he does get sad, he knows that mommy's there. Mommy's that, a mama bear. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So just calls on his birthday. That's pretty much how it works. He just calls on his birthday.
Birthday, Christmas, randomly. You might text him every blue moon. Hey son, or I can't say you'll pick up the phone a whole lot, but you'll hear from him maybe like once, twice a month. Or he'll go and visit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like Braylon will go there, and you might spend a few hours with him or something.
So he really sees him mostly just on TV, or do you not watch the games? Or
I'm in Orlando, so
yeah. So you don't get.
Yeah, we don't get those games, and then also like Magic sucks. So the only time we watch a Magic game is if Dwight is playing here, and I'll take him and a couple of Braylon's friends. Like we'll go to the game. You know what I mean? So even stuff like that, like when he's spending time, he's spending time. So
yeah.
He's not a terrible father when he's there, when he's present. Let me put it that way.
I got you. So when he comes to town, you guys all go to the games and spend some time, maybe after the game or something like that. Gotcha.
Yeah, after the game, or even like depending on what time they get there the day before, he might take them to Fun Spot, which is Braylon's favorite place. It's like a mini theme park, So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So at this point, there's no chance of you guys getting back together.
I don't see that happening. No.
Gotcha. Now, living with a professional athlete, how is that? And do you feel like when you're dating a professional athlete, the whole relationship is centered around their career?
Well, when we dated, I didn't feel that way. But Dwight and I were from like 04 to, on and off between 04 and 07. We were steady like from 04 to the middle of like 06. When when I went to Miami because he didn't want me to leave, but we didn't live together. I had my own place. I was very independent, so I guess my relationship with the other women, I don't really know how theirs was, but I've always had my own. I've worked since I was 16. So even though he didn't want me to, or he didn't want me to go to Magic, he didn't want me to go to Miami, I went anyway. So,
right.
Our relationship, I think, was just different. So, he was concentrating on his career, I was concentrating on mine. And, again, even though he didn't want me to leave, he respected the fact that I did. At least back then. So I can't really say that, it was a bad thing that career was first, because we were both, young and just trying to figure out what we were going to do with life in general, And even now, I work almost every day, and I don't have to, If I wanted to sit on my behind and collect a check every month, I could. But I choose not to because I enjoy working, and that's never been me. I feel like I would get super bored and like get cabin fever or something. I'd probably get fat. I don't know.
Now, do you feel that these players flirt and hook up a lot with cheerleaders or dancers? And have you ever met a loyal basketball player that doesn't cheat on their wives or girlfriend?
I can't say that. I can't say that. Yes, they date the dancers a lot, but I don't, and yes, it is against the rules because people ask me that a lot. But I think it's a stupid rule, to be honest, because we kind of grew up with that being the norm. It was always the football player or the basketball player that dated the cheerleader. Look at the movies. You know what I'm saying? Or it was the band, the drum majors that dated the dancers for the the band. It was there because you were both in the same element. You know what I mean? It was like you were always around each other. So I don't know who came up with that rule and why, especially because everybody's grown. And if you're going to let a relationship issue hinder your progress or your performance on a court or on a field, then that means you're probably not ready for that professional career. That's how I feel. And that goes for both sides. If a dancer doesn't know how to, keep that under wraps, if you're having issues at home or in your relationship, if you want to come out and on the field be shooting units at your man, then that's your immaturity. But you got a job to hold down too. Are you really willing to do something stupid that jeopardizes your job and your performance for that job? That's how I look at it. I feel like everybody should be grown enough to realize this is your job and don't bring that shit there. But hey, as far as them being faithful, I never really got in everybody else's business. I have seen some relationships work out. Example is, the girl I used to dance with on the Heat, Nikki. Always been a sweet girl. She's now married to their head coach. So, it's one of those things where it can actually work. And Nikki, like I said, she was beautiful. She was sweet. She could dance her ass off. And, how could you not be attracted to the girls that are dancing on the court in booty shorts and half tops, but actually dancing for real and being good at it? They're beautiful girls. Yeah. If they weren't attracted, we would probably be questioning something.
Now, which celebrity have you met that you've enjoyed meeting the least?
Oh, Genuine. And he's so fine.
Oh, Genuine.
Yeah, he's so fine. No. But when I met him, he was on queen mode. Like, it was in this city right outside of Tallahassee. It was during a FAMU homecoming. And he was being a queen that day. Oh my gosh. He was like, it's too hot. No, I'm not touching that. Get that away from me. What is going on? Why am I just sitting here? No, this is not supposed to be like this. Leave me alone. When am I going on? I'm going on that. Is this clean? It was, and that's how he was talking, and he was doing his hand motions. And it was crowded and everything, but he was just not having it that day. And his mannerisms were not like, man, what is this? What's this going on? Wait, what? It was, oh my God, what is that? I'm not doing this. It is too hot in here. I need water. But does it have bubbles in it? Because I don't do that. Like, is this Becker Hills? But it completely threw me. Because that is not how I expected him to speak at all. At all.
Now, were you backstage or were you?
Yes, I was backstage.
How did you like? Oh, okay. I got.
Yeah, I was backstage because I was like helping with the event. So I was like in charge of like different things. Walking the artists back and forth, or getting them water. And he was, oh my gosh. And I was so sad because I had just, like the year before, I had just, caught a bandana that he threw in the audience after he wiped his face because I was that girl. Like, oh my God, I caught it. Ah! I don't even know where it is now. I was so over it after
that. That's hilarious. What is the best way for fans to keep up with you? What social media is the one that you're on the most?
Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your handle?
Royce Reed. Real easy.
Just Royce Reed.
Yeah.
Okay, ROYCE
I don't have
RED.
REED. Yeah. I don't have any of those crazy handles like, turn up or nothing. Booty flip, flop,
okay,
flop.
just your name.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, check her out. Check her out there. And where can they? What about your dance? How can they find that profession? For fantastic.
Oh, Fancy Chic. Well, I post
Fancy Chic.
yeah. And their handle is easy too. It's just at Fancy Chic because I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that says it.
Right.
It's FANTASHIQUE. So Fanta like the drink,
her
and
out
then
there.
yeah, and then Chic spelled wrong. So yeah.
Awesome. We will put those links on our social media to connect you guys. And Royce, thank you so much for being on the show today.
No problem. I don't have my baby daddy calling me and saying, "Oh my God, that's the other." Oh my gosh, and then I'll have to deal with that.
Hey, this is Whoopi Goldberg, and you're listening to the Domenick Nati Show.
This is the Domenick Nati Show on iHeartRadio and Intellectual Radio. Do you have a business and are looking for a creative and effective way to market your product or services? Are you an entertainer or recording artist looking for a captive audience to display your talent to? The Domenick Nati Show is now offering on-air commercial advertising for as low as $50. Your product or talent will be presented by celebrity publicist Domenick Nati and be seen on our social media accounts and on iHeartRadio and select stations throughout the country. Send us a message on social media at Dom Nati Show or email DomenickNattyShow@gmail.com for more information. The Domenick Nati Show, maximum exposure, minimum censorship. You're listening to the Domenick Nati Show on iHeartRadio and Intellectual Radio.
And we're back. Domenick Nati Show, Intellectual Radio, iHeartRadio. That was our exclusive interview with Royce Reed from Basketball Wives. Yes, Royce Reed, thank you so much for being our guest today. I thought she was very transparent and very informative, and it was interesting to learn about Dwight Howard, Family Man. Yes, she was very candid. I understand that it's got to be tough on some of these players with the demanding schedule that they have, and they try to make enough time for family. And she let us know how she felt about it. So, Royce Reed, thank you for your transparency. We really enjoyed speaking with you. And hey, Dwight Howard, you should be a guest. Come and tell us your side of the story. That would be great. You know what else is great? Christmas. We're very close. It's just around the corner. But until then, on Fridays, you will always have the Domenick Nati Show. Yes, and 2017 is running out, so I hope you all lost the weight you said you would this year. If not, you've got 4 weeks still. So get on it, and we will see you next Friday on the Domenick Nati Show. We'll see you next week.